I'm delighted to introduce Mickey Straub from Sales Activity Management. We crossed paths because of NAIFA. I believe Joe Templin introduced us, so thank you, Joe. So this is NAIFA members doing business with NAIFA members. We got to talking. We have all sorts of, let's call it divine connections, but all sorts of interesting things in there about how we can work together. And it just seemed a total natural to bring the SAM Planner into the NAIFA membership, the community, and make sure everybody knows that these tools are available. And then to really be able to do more work together, because we're really interested in building out the member benefits portfolio for our members to make sure that they're the absolute best that they can be under our Talent Development Center and our Business Performance Center. And so Mickey Straub is here as the CEO and founder. So Mickey, thanks for being on, and we're delighted to do this. And we had so many things. I had no idea that Chris Gandy is like a raving fan before we even got going. He's like, what, are you kidding me? Of course we know. So wherever you want to kick that off, Chris.
So Mickey, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to have you. It's a pleasure to know that you've meant so much in people's lives, and they probably don't even know how much you meant, right? And so, when I think of Mickey, right, I think, hey, Mickey, you're so fine, you blow my mind. That's what comes to mind, but you're fine for other reasons. So, Mickey, tell us a little bit about you and the SAM and the. I mean, I'm not going to steal your thunder, but tell us a little bit about the SAM calendars, and tell us a little bit about why this is so important in the lives of advisors, no matter what level of success you're having.
Thanks, Chris. That tee up, but you'll be a better person to actually express that because you've seen it firsthand.
So Mickey, being in the business now for 20, I just heard to my side, I started in 99. And so the SAM calendar's been around for a while. And if you came from one of those mutual companies, right, it was part of the culture, right? It was part of the culture, but you guys have taken it to a new level, right? And so we were joking because I said, everybody who joins my organization gets what I call the playbook. So they get this SAM calendar and they're required to keep it with them. So I played sports, and I remember our coach said, you got to learn the plays. Right. And if you don't learn the plays, you can't play. And so this was not only the playbook, but it's the statistical book that allows for people to actually experience process and procedure regularly. So question, you guys have taken it to a new level though. Now, what is, most people don't know, I can see it behind you, but what does SAM stand for, and why is activity important?
Well, SAM stands for Sales Activity Management. And it came about because I finally asked myself, what do I do well and what could other people benefit from? I thought, well, I'm a great salesman. But in reality, I wasn't a great salesman. There were much better persuaders and presenters than myself. But why was I successful? Why did I win the contests, to Helliging the Canadian Rockies and build a nice house in Burr Ridge in my 30s? I thought, it's not because I'm good a salesman. It's because I manage my activities well. What kind of activities, I asked? Sales activities. So that's how the company, got its name from the beginning. And I come to realize that we're certainly not the first one to discover it. It's actually based on a biblical concept. Galatians 6:7, whatsoever man soweth, that shall he also reap. Not rocket science. Jesus told us 2,000 years ago that we reap what? We reap what we sow. So it's kind of cool because it's very pragmatic and simple and very, I think that part's left brain, where it's just intellectual. It's also very right brain, very, very inspirational, because it's very, very, very emotional, because only one person controls your activities, you. And you know what? If you set goals to keep score of your activities, the legacy is long before you and I came along, whether it be Al Granum, Maury Stewart, Phil Richards, a lot of guys in this industry have been talking about it for years, but they didn't start calling it activity management until we gave it a brand.
I think it's kudos to you guys for keeping this program alive. I mean, it is truly, I can't say enough that without this app, I have, ever since I've started in the business, every year, I keep my SAM calendar. Why? Because it reminds me of where I've been and where I'm going. And it also is one of the only, what I call this it's interesting enough, I call this our our cash register. And when you go to a shop or you go somewhere, how often do you open the cash register? Well, you open it numerous times a day, right? You don't just open it at the beginning of the day, put it on the shelf and say, oh, no, we're not going to count the money in it, right? The way in which you're able to track, keep track, stay on track, and also project is this type of tool.